Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode, we will unpack in a little more detail what it means in the structure of my structure of mastery, awareness, strategy, skills, and then mastery again, which the last mastery is evaluate or reflect your accountability support partner, and then revise. So let's unpack that last one, mastery. Let's say you go out, you perform, right? As you perform, each time you perform, you're achieving something, regardless of the outcome, you are achieving. You're performing, regardless of the outcome, you are performing. So, how do we gain the most benefits from that? Well, one way to look at it, and this is the way that I teach, is that I ask my customers, my clients, I ask them to talk about their performance and to ask themselves as they evaluate their performance themselves and reflect on it. What are the breakthroughs? There had to be breakthroughs. I'm sure there were. And a lot of times, this is where my input is needed because most of the time people are too hard on themselves. They don't recognize, they're not aware, they don't see or acknowledge or feel that they made any breakthroughs, hear that they made any breakthroughs. And so this is where my coaching, training, teaching comes in. So, what were the breakthroughs? And then what went well? Okay. Then after that, that's part of the evaluate or reflect on your performance and your achievement, regardless of the outcomes. Okay. Doesn't matter what it is, whether you got uh, first place or you won the project or you won the whatever it is or you didn't. It doesn't really matter the outcome. What matters is being able to consistently advance or make progression because that's what will keep you coming back. A lot of times, the reason people stop a specific endeavor or initiative or work towards a goal or a dream is that they're not receiving enough benefits showing tangible progression. And so that's the first part of mastery. The second part is your accountability support partner. And that's where I come in because a lot of times you do need that other person, the outside perspective, someone who can look at, especially me, who has expertise in elite mental performance, the zone effect mastery, to be able to talk with you, to listen to you, and then to be able to really hone in and be the wise observer of your performance and achievement without even me being present, just by having a conversation with you, a discussion, a talk with you, and listening to you. So that's very, very essential is to have that accountability support partner. This is a person that you can go to. All my sessions are private, personal, professional, confidential, and therefore I'm able to be there, my customers, my clients, accountability support partner. And then the last part of mastery is to revise. Revise. Well, there's times when during the day and other times of the day that something just becomes too hard. If it becomes too hard, then we can't really do it. We need to do something. We need to revise it to make it a little bit easier, maybe break it into little parts, segments, Instead of going for an hour on something, on one thing, maybe break it up to doing 20 minutes on this and designing it where I'm 5 minutes on this and then designing 5 minutes on this, right? So that's very important. It's the design and plan of the revision, okay? So we can see where and you can experience the tangible benefits. It's not that it's impossible to do. It's just that currently, with where you are, with your, let's say, mental state, your mindset, what's happening in your life, all these different activities, endeavors go into your performance and your achievement. And on this particular day, since we are people, something's just not quite there. And so instead of keep on pushing and pushing, well, let's find a way to make it a little better, a little more effective, and a little easier, and a little more efficient by just taking another, revising the route, right? It's sort of like you drive in a car and you go, and let's say a tree fell down in the road. Okay, several trees fell down. Well, you're not just going to drive through it, right? You revise your route, right? And you're still going to get to your destination. However, you revise your route because it's too hard. You're not able to go past the trees. So you revise your route and sure enough, you're at your destination. So that's what I mean by revising so that it becomes a little better, a little more efficient, effective, a little more efficient, and a little easier. So sometimes that happens. There are things that occur during your performance, during your achievement. You need to make that in the moment decision where you're, you know, thinking, critical thinking skills, which is a little higher level thinking skills than your self-talk or talking to yourself, right? And so those are real-time decisions that you're making, real-time, higher level thinking skills, real-time, higher level self-talk, right? So it's not that you don't know how to drive a car. It's just that there was a tree, more than one in the way. And so what did you do? You revised your path, right? You revised your route. And it's similar to that when you're performing and achieving. So that's very, very important. And it's also very, very important that when you do design and plan your performance and what you're achieving, right, is that you take an inventory and make sure that you have all the equipment. If I go and build a house, right? Sure, I can design it and stuff on paper, on, blueprints, etc. However, eventually when I go to the home, I need to make sure that I have all the equipment. I need to make sure I have all the pieces, the parts, the tools, all of those things in place, right? So it's similar to you. You need to know that, did you do your AM routine? Are you mentally prepared and physically prepared? Are you, do you have your visualization before your performance or what you're achieving? Then when you get there, do that that whatever it is you're accessing is available, that you can access it so that you can use it. All of those are things that we sometimes don't think ahead about, that we do need to think ahead about because it's all part of the performance and achievement. Performance and achievement just doesn't occur in real time. Yes, that's the most important part, and that's the part that you like the most, and that's the part that's, obviously is very beneficial to not only you, but to other people. It's that performance and achievement occurs before, it occurs during, and it occurs afterwards. So that's what I have for you today in this episode. If you like my episode, like it and make comment in the comment section. For those of you who want help and support, my private, personal, professional, confidential programs and services to help and support you or your team or your organization, visit my website, rajgavurla.com. Fill out the brief form, and we will contact you as soon as we can. Your bonus today is for you to think about in your performance, in your achievement. Where are you being too hard on yourself? And then to use the structure that I just mentioned here, that we talked about here, or I'm talking about, and that is to evaluate or reflect. What were the breakthroughs? What went well? What could have been better? What caused it not to be better? How could it have been better? Right? Those are some of the questions to answer, for you to answer. And then your accountability support partner, that would be me, so that you could have another person, me, to actually be a wise observer for you. And then we have revise. What will you revise? What will make it, let's say, a little better, more effective, more efficient, a little easier next time? Or what will you add to it? Or how will you stagger it or stack it? And how often will you come back to it? Spaced repetitions. And each one of those spaced repetitions, so we're adding something that's just a little different so that your body doesn't get so accustomed to it that it stops responding and stops nurturing, developing, building, transforming, growing, and evolving. So it's very important how all of that is done. So that's what I have for you today. So go out there, make it a fun experience, and enjoy your day.